One of the biggest mistakes that I see is people spending hundreds of dollars on supplements, on therapies, before spending just few dollars on blood work. So think about it. We buy products hoping they will improve our health, but we don't even know if we have a problem they're supposed to fix. That's backwards. What's even crazier is some of the most important biomarkers cost less than a month's worth of supplements, maybe less than $100. So today I'm about to show you the 7 biomarkers I believe every adult should know if they're serious about optimizing their health. So guys, before we jump in, one quick thing. I don't recommend checking biomarkers random. The right blood panels depends on your health, goals, and what is your medical history. But these 7 are a great place to start because they are easy to get, affordable, and they can tell you a lot about your metabolic health. In any situation, these 7 biomarkers are going to be super easy to get done because I don't think any doctor is going to refuse to let you do it. In fact, you're going to get important information about metabolic health and insulin resistance. Here we go. As first, we're going to have waist circumference. In women, as general, we're going to have less than 30 inch. That's going to be around 75 cm. And in men, we're going to have less than 40. That's going to be around 100 cm. As I said, this information is general because let's say you got a guy with 99, 98, 97 cm, and because you just check this by yourself, you probably believe that you're still healthy. But sure as shit you're not, because you're getting fat, you're getting overweight, and in some cases, unfortunately, you just go to see a doctor, and because he has also a big waist, he's going to take this lightly. Hope not the case. So what you guys have to do is like check yourself in front of the mirror. As long as the waist is getting bigger and bigger, you have to do something about it. Next is going to be blood pressure. As long as you're not on medication, for example, testosterone, if you use it in a wrong way, could raise blood pressure by itself. And also testosterone converts to estradiol, and high levels of estradiol could raise also blood pressure. So as long as you're not on medication and you are doing the right things regarding to your habits, sleep, among others, you're not getting too fat, blood pressure should be 120 over 80, ideally. And now for the next biomarkers, I'm going to make 2 groups. The first group is going to be glucose and HbA1c, and the next group, let's say, is going to be the cholesterol profile. Most of the people know as definition of HbA1c, that is your average blood sugar over the last 3 months. But today, I want to give you something else, guys. And right after you finish watching this video, you're going to know exactly what's the difference between glucose and HbA1c, and why both of these biomarkers are very important. Inside the red blood cells, there is a protein called hemoglobin. Basically, its job is to carry oxygen around your body. Now, imagine sugar is floating through your bloodstream every single day. Some of that sugar naturally is going to stick to the hemoglobin inside your red blood cells. So as conclusion, the more sugar you have in your blood over time, the more sugar is going to stick. Now, in your blood work, you're going to see that regarding to HbA1c, you shouldn't pass 5.6%. Why is a percentage? So that means what a percentage of your hemoglobin has sugar attached to it. For example, if your HbA1c is 5%, that means about 5% of your hemoglobin has glucose attached. And now let's say it's going to be 7%. In this case, more of these red blood cells have been exposed to high blood sugar. That makes the percentage immediately intuitive. Next will be, why does it represent 3 months? I'm going to give you the concept first, and then I'm going to throw you some analogies so you guys can get it super easily. So red blood cells live for around 120 days. So once sugar sticks to the hemoglobin, it stays there for the rest of that red blood cells life. So your body is constantly replacing all red blood cells with the new ones. So when we measure HbA1c, we're basically looking at a snapshot of how much sugar has been sticking to your blood over the last 2-3 months. Guys, just a quick break from our video. If you're doing everything right, but you're still dealing with low levels of energy, low performance, poor recovery, stubborn body fat, or you just feel like something is off, believe me that just guessing is not the answer. This is exactly what I help my clients with, looking at your blood work, functional lab testing, hormones nutrition training, and lifestyle to figure it out what's actually holding you back and build the best plan for you to achieve your goals. If you would like my help with that, go ahead and find the link below. Now, let's back to our video. I'm gonna give you the analogy. If you wear that very shirt for the next 3 months, the numbers of stains are gonna tell you a lot about what happened during that whole period, not just what happened today. HbA1c works in a very similar way. The more sugar that's been circulating over the time, the more stains are left on your red blood cells. And since now you understand about HbA1c, let's compare it with glucose. So fasting glucose is gonna be like taking a single photo this morning. And HbA1c is gonna be more like watching the highlight reel of the last 3 months. As summary, glucose is gonna tell us what happened today, and HbA1c is gonna tell us what has been happening constantly. Guys, this was gas. Now let's move forward to the second group. We're gonna break down a little bit part of the cholesterol profile. We're gonna talk about HDL, LDL, triglycerides, and the total cholesterol. A lot of people are getting confused thinking like triglycerides are aligned to eat a lot of fat. And actually, triglycerides are a stored form of excess of carbohydrates in blood. Your body hates having too much sugar floating around in the blood because it causes damage. So it quickly changed that extra sugar into triglycerides for storage. Remember that your body always works hard to keep everything balanced. Most of you guys probably heard that LDL is the bad cholesterol and HDL is the good cholesterol. Neither of those are good or bad. I mean, bad things happen when any of those are too high or too low. And you know what? These are not actually cholesterol. These are more like the vehicles that transport cholesterol through the bloodstream. Guys, let's back to the analogies. Let's say that your body is a city. So every city needs delivery trucks to transport materials from one place to another. LDL works like a delivery truck. It carries cholesterol from your liver to the rest of your body. And actually, this is a good thing, since your body needs cholesterol, for example, to build hormones. On the other hand, HDL works a little bit more like a recycling truck. It picks up excessive cholesterol from your tissues and blood vessels and just brings it back to the liver to be recycled or removed. Our goal is not eliminate LDL. Instead, we should have a balance between these two. As summary, hope you guys remember, LDL delivers, HDL returns. Let me give you one more analogy. All of you guys probably buy stuff from Amazon. Let's think about Amazon then. Every day, there are delivery trucks bringing packages to your house. Those are like LDL. Then eventually, the garbage trucks comes to pick up the empty boxes. That's HDL in this case. If you only have 2 trucks, eventually garbage starts piling up, and that's no good. That's going to be aligned to low levels of HDL. Now, on the other hand, what if you had 500 garbage trucks driving around all day? That would not necessarily make the city healthier. In fact, it might tell you that something unusual is going on, and that's gonna be aligned with high levels of HDL. Guys, I'm really happy that you're still here. So as summary, HDL and LDL, neither of those are good or bad. The problem starts when they are too high or too low. Everything has to be balanced. And finally, guys, total cholesterol. You might hear that anything under 200 milligrams per deciliter is desirable, but I wouldn't obsess over that number by itself. Total cholesterol is basically the sum of cholesterol being carried in different lipoproteins. And guess what? 2 people can have the same amount of total cholesterol and very different cardiovascular risk. Guys, let's make it easier. Think of total cholesterol like counting all the vehicles in a city. It gives you a number, but it doesn't tell you exactly what those vehicles are doing. 2 cities can have the same amount of vehicles, but completely different traffic problems. So total cholesterol could be useful, but I would rather look deeper at other biomarkers as LDL, HDL, triglycerides, or non-HDL cholesterol, among other important and deeper biomarkers, for example, ApoB, that is one of my favorites. Probably we're going to talk about that one in another video. So those biomarkers are going to give us a much better picture about what's actually going on. Last but not least, and just to be clear, blood work should be always interpreted in the proper context, when necessary, alongside a qualified doctor. The goal of my work is not replace your health professional. It's just to help you better understand your health and connect the dots between your blood work, nutrition, training, and lifestyle, so I can help you out to build the best strategy to achieve your goals. Remember, if you would like to get my help with that, you can find all the details regarding to my online coaching and consultation service in the description below. And if you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. There is a lot more coming.